Hi everybody, it's Mary. So tonight I just kind of wanted to share with you guys some nostalgia from the 80s, from my childhood. Sort of an unrealized dream of mine was to have a subscription to Highlights magazine. You guys may, I guess these still exist, I'm actually not sure. But for anyone who is somewhat my age, you probably recognize these from doctor's offices. Growing up, there were two short things. This was the only place, that was the only place that I'd ever see a Highlights magazine. And they either had this or the Children's Bible, which was like a free thing that was in every doctor's office. But I loved Highlights magazine. It was the coolest, and I was kind of a nerdy kid, and I liked educational stuff, so I would be the one that would like want to have workbooks and things. But anyway, so we found 4 copies of Highlights. I think these were like 10 cents. I'm pretty sure they were 10 cents a piece, so I was like, I'm just going to get them to flip through them. So I have April 85, July and August of 1985, November of 1985, and then July, August of 1986. So these were prime years. This is literally what I was probably missing out on. So the story is that when I was a little kid, I wanted this magazine so bad. I would beg my mom for it, and I would always get the little card out, and I don't know if any of these have the card in it or not, but there would be like, the subscription card where you'd send off, I would always take that and be like, Mom, can you get this for me? And I'd beg for it, and she'd be like, well, I sent off for it, and they just never came, Well, I think she was fibbing to me, but I will say that after seeing this, I kind of think I might understand why. 33 issues with just 3 years is $50. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot now. It was definitely a lot back then. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe that's the reason why I never got this, because it's stupid expensive. I mean, this was 1985, people. And, so you're forgiven, Mom, for not getting me this. I totally understand. So, from the editor, fun and informational content, which is exactly what I wanted. So, find the pictures. Can you find each of these pictures at another place in this book? So, in the beginning, you memorize these and you look for them. All these different things. Table of contents. And these had like all kinds of different stuff in them. Irresponsible residual. Oh, they even had it in the, I thought somebody had done that. But they had it in the table of contents. So there's a little story about Reggie, which I probably would have read. I will not play at tug-of-war. I'd rather play at hug-of-war, where everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins and everyone cuddles and everyone wins. What a great sentiment for today as well. So they had letters from the editor, letters to the editor from kids. Becky C. I totally would have been one of them kids trying to write a letter. Jokes. Do ships this size sink very often? Why no, never more than once. Doctor, you have to help me. Everyone says I'm a liar. I don't believe that. Did you hear the one about the man who dreamed he was a muffler? No, he woke up exhausted. So there's a section called What Would You Do If You Ripped Your Pants when you were at school, if you were home alone and smelled smoke, if a waiter brought you something you hadn't ordered. Interesting. Little comics. A little bit of science. And I remember these, the timber toes, and I remember thinking they were weird looking. They look like Pinocchios. Maybe they were supposed to be. Yeah, maybe, because it looks like, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like they are put together like little wooden dolls. I don't know. The Woman and the Fat Hen. A woman had a hen that laid an egg every day, and the eggs were very fine and sold for a good price. The woman thought, okay. That looks like a QR code. Leaf identification. A little reading for more basic readers. A story about U.S. dancers who went to travel to Turkey for a festival. Hidden pictures, you can see somebody found some of them. That was also the trick, like if you were in a doctor's office, is actually getting to be the one that found them. Find the differences in the pictures. I used to love those. Who can jump higher than a skyscraper? I guess the answer's wrong. Oh, a skyscraper can't jump. And this was Goofus and Gallant, like the good kid versus the bad kid. And then people got to send in their own stories. Oh, Lord, I would have been doing that too. Science letters. Like a Q&A where kids would send in questions and somebody would help them answer it. Another story. Hands and feet. Sea otter uses its hands. A raccoon uses its hands. Its webbed feet. And their paws. April Fools. Get an ice cube, put it in a small plastic bag, and close the bag tightly with a twist tie. Slip the cold foot into your brother's shoe and watch it. Oh, man. Okay. So this is kind of a section about careers and engineers. many different, let's see, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers. Oh, they send in poems and drawings. Once again, I would be right there, sending in my little stuff. Headwork. Start at the beginning and see how far you can go, thinking of good answers from your own head. It's like some of it was for older kids, some of it was for younger kids. So it's kind of a combination of different things. Not really sure. Things that are circles. I see. Sunflowers, blueberries. No, this is talking about bicycle safety. Asking questions about traffic laws and things like that. Fun with phonics. The letter L. Letter, lamb, lock, ladybug, leaf, lion, lemon. What's hiding in the Big Dipper? A little astronomy article. You can see the Big Dipper. And there's all your answers to some of the things inside. Happy Easter, an Easter story. Oh, I would have loved this too. Things to make. I like some crafts. So it shows you how to make it a pop-up Easter card with a little duck face. Jelly bean basket. Milk truck. An Easter mobile. Or mobile. And then another kind of like article about history, Paul Revere. So let's see what this one has. Another article. Oh, I remember this little cartoon too. They're like weird bear faces. Which hand does the queen use to stir her tea? She uses a spoon. Yankee Doodle. Went to London riding. I don't remember. I thought it was like Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. I didn't know London. Do you remember that? I don't remember that. Bright and spirited. So this is also a little bit of history behind the song. I always said Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, never London. This is interesting. So, where did Yankee come from? It was traced back to the colonial times, early Dutch settlers. It was a slang, somewhat impolite way to refer to English-speaking colonists. They called such a person Yankee, as we might call someone we don't know Jack or Buddy. Okay, so Jan is the Dutch way of saying John, and Kie at the end is their way of saying like Johnny. So it's like, hey buddy, hey what, yeah, hey Jack, hey buddy. So Yankee. That's interesting. And it says that their great discovery was new food from Italy called macaroni, unknown in England before that time. They thought that macaroni was so exotic and unusual that they named the club after it. Soon other people started calling any article of clothing that was fancy or unusual macaroni. Oh my gosh, this is actually kind of interesting. Just learned something from Highlights magazine. How to make your own game. Hidden pictures. Some of them are circled. First American Girl Scout. Hornets. Madovers. Somebody's trying to practice their handwriting, I guess. The mysterious noise. Simple Simon met a pieman going to the fair. Says Simple Simon to the pieman, "Let me taste your ware." Says the pieman to Simple Simon, "Show me first your penny." Says Simple Simon to the pieman, "Indeed I have not any." Do kids get taught these things anymore? Like all the little rhymes? I remember all of them. I may not like know them all by heart, but I remember them. I don't remember that at all. Oh, somebody really filled that one out. They were already writing in cursive, so they were older. Once there lived in the Ungly Bungly Jungle a family of lions. Father Lion, Mother Lion, Loopy Lion, Lucy Lion, and the youngest of all, Leonidas. I would have been like, why are you naming me Loopy and this one Leonidas? That's pretty cute though. More drawings and poems that were sent in. Science corner. Fun with phonics. Cheese, wheel, key, queen, beans, leaves, be. Things to make. Let's see, would have loved it. I would have been making all this stuff, especially like that. Another story. And see that? I mean, like, I would have loved this too, because when I was a kid, I really loved to read. So I know I would have loved all the small stories. Coming to America, Why We Should Remember, by Lee Iacocca. Little history. And the weird little timber toe guys again. A house for mouse. Oh, this is really cute. This looks like maybe it was a children's book that had been just sort of the different illustrations put into a small spread. Some football, basketball, eggs. I don't know. Wiffle ball. An orange. I'm not sure. A helmet, maybe? So it looks like, I won't put the address, but it looks like this was maybe a brother and sister shared the subscription. Animal, vegetable, or plastic. If you were doing each of the following things, would you want to be seen or not seen? Hiccuping during a wedding ceremony, swimming with a friend, crossing a street, stealing second base. It's like a funny little, almost like conversation starters. Believe it or not, it's about snakes. Hidden pictures, so you just find those over here. And I guess this is funny because this guy's like supposed to be at work and it says insert a dime. That's how I feel about having to pay to park at my work. Something about the Mayflower. Can you make up a story about this picture? Send it to us with your name, age, and home address. We might print it in highlights. Feeding deer in the winter. Would it be better to let them starve? That's a dreary kind of question, isn't it? What? Let's see, this is November. Okay, so that's why we're talking about the Mayflower and winter things. Wendy, the Wind Machine. Richard Scarry, the busy artist of Busytown. I love Richard Scarry illustration, so this is kind of neat. Oh, He lives in Switzerland. I'll have to read this. That's neat. Okay. Unicorns Dancing at Night. This is a poem by young Adriana Clemenson, age 9, who is older than me now. I went outside one dark night. I saw a strange thing. I saw 2 unicorns dancing, and they saw me and ran away. I went home. I didn't tell anyone about the unicorns, and I was glad I didn't. Nobody would believe me anyway. That's awesome. I guess this would have been really good for a household that had like several small children, because it had, you know, just like this says, for wee folk. So this is like for little kids, even though I don't know how wee folk would know what that word was. I don't even know what that word is. But it had, you know, stuff for different age levels, so everyone could share it, sort of. I just like the illustrations on that. It's really pretty. I just like these sections called thinking. It's kind of interesting. The same sort of thing as this too, head work. Like, start at the beginning and see how far you can go, thinking of good answers from your own head. I mean, it's just a kind of interesting way to make kids think about things, things that they may not normally think about. And it kind of sparks imagination a little bit, and thinking outside the box. Thinking for the sake of thinking. Oh, even the back cover had something like, what's wrong with this picture? Like, why is there some kind of upside down animal? She's skating on water. And the last one from 1986. That looks like fun. Ooh. Here's the timber toes, and they're illustrated differently. Their name is. Ronald Reagan. Everyone's favorite jelly bean loving president. Story of Beethoven. I guess this might be interesting, especially, you know, this is the age where kids are starting to take piano lessons, and they're probably learning Ode to Joy. I get your eye on baseball. A little science and a little sports. Manners, who needs them? Dragon that munched. That's some high-tech stuff right there. It's probably like an Apple IIe. You have two aunts who are not sisters. Yeah. Crafts. Tic-tac-toe travel board. An eagle table centerpiece out of paper plates. Brewster, Rooster, and the Thistle Whistle. Okay. Little Tom Tucker sings for his supper. What shall he eat? White bread and butter. How will he cut it without ever a knife? How will he be married without ever a wife? So, I hope you guys enjoyed these. I'm actually going to go back and read the Yankee Doodle one about the origin of the word Yankee, and also the Richard Scarry illustrator kind of bio. I'm going to go back and read those because I think that's pretty interesting. But, I don't know, there was a lot of merit to these back in the day, and well, as I see the price tag on these, I totally understand why I didn't have one. And then even, look, it says the back issues are $2.25 a piece. That was, like, really expensive in the 80s. I mean, I know this was an educational thing, but these were not priced for my lower middle class family to own, that's for sure. But anyway, like I said, all forgiven, Mom. I understand why you didn't get these for me. But these were really fun to look at and go down memory lane. And I hope that you guys enjoyed looking at them with me. Like I said, I'm going to go back and read those two articles now because I'm an adult and I can. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye.